Okay, what's going on here?
You really have to ask, Lieutenant? It's either her or me, pal. Who let her in anyway? You really think I'm gonna work with a dark hair? She'll blow us all up. Besides, I can't stand the stink of her! Her type's got a bad reputation and everybody knows it. No Darksons allowed. You hear me?
They can stand there and talk, but there's still a gulf between them. Call it kind of a hunch.
Yeah? You think they're that complex? Guess it's just woman's intuition.
Except that I'm a man here. Don't forget it.
Like there's any chance of that. But seriously, no guy's got an ass this tight.
Oh, how far we've fallen. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is... You probably think I'm gonna say ass, right? Wrong! It's fine. At the tail end of 2025, I found myself entirely immersed in the beauty of Valkyria Chronicles. A captivating and unique art style, compelling story and characters, and rewarding tactical gameplay. It had it all! Upon finishing Squad 7's final mission in the first entry, I knew I had to get me some more of that Ragnite-infused Valkyria action, baby! So we're just gonna skip over these games here, and Valkyria Chronicles 4 was the only one on Steam. But you know, it looks pretty much one-to-one with the first game. That's a good sign, right? VC4 utilizes the same canvas engine we've come to know and love from 1, with the addition of having higher fidelity and quality models. Developed primarily for the PS4, VC4 is, without a doubt, the most beautiful entry in the series. I can't say the same for the story though. Or rather, I should say, the story, while not terrible, left me frustrated with the way it handled itself. VC4 has an interesting setup, with the focus being on Squad E, a fighting force from the Atlantic Federation, one of the two major superpowers involved in this Second European War. That's right, the very same war from the first game. This time, we get to see how the war played out on a more massive scale, with our main objective being Operation Northern Cross, the capture of the Empire's capital, Shkoshka. Leading the pack of our fine band of ladies and gents is the protagonist, Claude Wallace, his rival, Minerva, close friends and lieutenants, Kai, Riley, and Raz. When it came to balancing screen time, character development, and memorable moments between the main cast, 4 knocked it out of the park. It feels as if we have much more time to become intimate with the soldiers fighting in this operation. And that not only includes the main cast, but the side characters you can swap in and out of your squad. 1 had some fun recruits, but there was nothing to flesh out their personalities besides their voice lines and what you can read in their bio. 4 remedies this by having squad stories. Side missions where you can use up to 3 of your recruited units to give them a small spotlight and enhance their combat performance. Most of them were memorable, and sometimes shifted my perspective on the character entirely.
For me, animals are the only children I want. Mother Nature's the only lover I need.
I get what you're saying, but the way you're saying it is totally weirding me out. That's not just me, right?
We've got an actual alcoholic.
Yeah!
A guy who's gonna be a dad soon.
You're gonna be a dad soon, you know?
Odin Fire Emblem.
Indeed.
The black one.
Let's rough him up!
And Aladdin.
Oh, did you fall for me?
Where 4 fails to keep me enthralled is in its pacing. This game is almost twice as long as the first entry, and I think I know the reason why. This happens after every mission. It's the combination of a slow burn narrative, extremely questionable character decisions, and major tonal shifts that throw me off with 4's storytelling. Seriously, the amount of times they mention the shape of Kai's ass is mind-boggling.
Well, you,
What?
you have an incredible ass.
I will save her.
Kinda reminds me of him. She's a real fine woman. hey, easy. I was talking about her integrity, not her ass.
I apologize for grabbing your butt. It's just, well, you know how it is, girl. You see that masterpiece of an ass and you just gotta... Oh.
And I get it. They were trying to appeal to a very refined and distinguished population of ass enjoyers. But I'm not only an ass man. I'm also a man who enjoys tactical gameplay. Thankfully, 4 delivers on that. I found the Blitz system from Valkyria Chronicles 1 extremely fun and flexible to a multitude of playstyles in a vacuum. The major issue being scouts, or more specifically, Alicia. While yes, you can use snipers to pick off threats to your more frail units from afar, you also have the ability resist crossfire to mitigate any damage your scouts would take in the first place. You can use shock troopers to burst down the bulky Lancer class so your tank can proceed without being blown to pieces, but you also have the ability undodgeable shot, giving your scouts the same power by hitting consistent headshots. Oh, but what if you're low on HP and need a more powerful healing skill to patch up a unit? Call in an engineer, maybe?
My wounds are healing.
With the combination of having the highest movement stat and the possibility to move twice in one move, you are actively hampering your gameplay by not utilizing scouts as a jack-of-all-trades unit that can rush to take almost any objective in the game. The only classes that could fill in for the blind spots of the scout were the tank, obviously, and if you're feeling extra spicy, the Lancer. Where 4 remedies this is by introducing a host of new mechanics that may or may not be new mechanics, I didn't play 2 or 3, to give the player more agency in their decision making. You can now use leader units, the ones indicated by this icon here, to command 2 other units to follow them during their action. Combined with the APC you get fairly early on in the story, positioning units, especially those with the lowest movement like Lancers, just became that much easier. I found this a clever way to utilize the utility of the Scout's movement to give other, more overlooked classes a chance to shine. Finding that perfect sweet spot for a sniper, or trying to circle around an entrenched enemy position for your Lancer to open fire, so many more strategies not only become easier to pull off, but have more strategic merit as well. Like VC1, the highest ranks in 4 are centered around turn count. The game clearly wants you to play aggressively. Being able to discern key points on the map you'll want to take, or the quickest route to killing a boss, all of these things become way more fun to puzzle out when the tools you are given are much more balanced. The best new additions, however, were the Last Stand mechanic and the Grenadier class. Valkyria Chronicles, unlike a game like Fire Emblem, can be a bit unfair when it comes to enemy positioning. When looking at the map from a top-down perspective, you aren't able to see every single enemy at a glance. Your soldiers have to have vision on them. Sometimes this results in ambushes you couldn't have accounted for, or just simple mistakes by not remembering where an enemy was. In the first game, this just resulted in your unit being downed, and if not rescued in a certain amount of time, or if an enemy unit touches their body, they would permanently die. It can be frustrating, demoralizing even, seeing your squad mates lose their lives due to your miscalculations. Don't you just wish you could at least get one cheap shot into the bastard who ruined your whole plan, or maybe even help the rest of your team cover up for your mistake? Oh wait, you can! When a unit is downed in VC4, you have the random chance to either take a last stand or inspire an ally. This is determined by morale, which a unit can increase by taking enemy camps, getting multiple kills, or inspiring another ally. When given the option on player phase, Last Stand lets your unit act again with invincibility. And when chosen on enemy phase, lets you counterattack the aggressor. After either option, your unit will still be downed. You also have the option to inspire which will grant the closest ally maximum morale and a stat buff based on the class of the downed unit. Last Stand is very unpredictable, unreliable, but the best thing to see when you know you fucked up. I found it a great way to not only showcase the uncertainty of any battle in war, but also help the player recover from a mistake by mitigating the danger of rescuing a unit. Not everything will go according to plan, and this mechanic won't always be around to save you, but it doesn't undermine the inherent risk of losing a unit while giving the player an on-the-spot decision to reassess the way they approach the map. Grenadiers are an entirely new class that I really enjoyed using. They not only round out the classes in a meaningful way, but are so different from other classes that they feel uniquely satisfying to utilize. Earlier I mentioned how Valkyria Chronicles rewards aggressive play, but Grenadiers are seemingly the antithesis to that. Compared to other classes, they not only need time to set up their mortars, making them more vulnerable to enemy fire, but they have some of the lowest movement, verticality to their weapons requiring careful positioning, and can't perform interception fire unless they have an ally in direct sight of them. Although they have firepower akin to tank shells, Grenadiers are not the class you can send in to solve any and every issue. I found Grenadiers at their best when used defensively, as when they perform interception fire, they can stop not just enemy infantry, but also enemy tanks dead in their tracks. In combination with the command mechanic, finding an ideal vantage point to keep enemies in check while guiding the Grenadier with the scout's enhanced field of vision was one of the most fun strategies I used when dealing with difficult enemy formations. For those who prefer to bait and wait, lure and spur, turtle and schmurtle, Grenadiers help immensely by keeping positions well fortified and making sure your units are able to sleep soundly in their sandbags. Fighting them though, it's not fun. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a good game. A great game even, when weighing its mechanical diversity and enhancements to its predecessor. Judging this game by gameplay alone, I'd have to put it on the top of the Valkyria hierarchy. But it suffers from poor pacing and an underwhelming and slightly inconsistent story. Still, I found it a blast to go through, and if you're someone who enjoys tactical games, I think you will too. If you've yet to try Valkyria Chronicles, this series is worth a look, as you won't be able to find any game quite like it.